Be joining us in the studio now, the CSpire Roundtable. We've got Dave Miller. He's the Senior Manager, Media Relations, CSpire, in the studio. Craig Jackson. We got Craig on the phone? Yep. Senior Vice President. Great. Senior Vice President of Customer Operations. And also Titania Jordan, Chief Parent Officer of BARK. All right, Dave, welcome. Always good to see you guys. Tell us about this partnership you've got forged with BARK.
So I'm going to let Craig and Titania talk about the details, but we're really excited to announce this because this is something we've been working on for a long time. In fact, all you got to do is look at what's going on in today's headlines. I mean, look at all the people. You know, you've got Afghans, you've got Americans that are stranded in Afghanistan, and what are they using to communicate with? Primarily the internet. So it's really critical. The internet is really a critical tool for communication today. And while it has a lot of positive benefits and it does a lot of good stuff, in fact, we talk about the benefits all the time, but there's a dark side to the internet too, and it can be used, and it can be used for purposes that are bad, and you have to go through that process. You know, children, they're maturing. They're not they're not adults yet. They don't know. And so basically what we've done is we've spent years looking for a suitable partner to really introduce parental control, and we've really come up with a company. It's an award-winning company. It's a great partner for us, BARK Technologies out of Atlanta, Georgia, and we just announced on Monday that we're offering BARK Jr. We trust and we believe in this product so much that we're offering BARK Jr. free to all of our existing customers and to all our prospective customers, and BARK Premium, which also adds some text and email and 30 plus of the most popular social media platforms as part of that monitoring as well. We're offering that at a 29% discount, $10 a month. So this is a great opportunity for us. And I'm going to let Craig talk about the specifics of what we're doing and how customers can get this. Actually, we've already introduced it, so existing customers already have it. If you're a new customer or you're considering switching to CSpire, he can talk a little bit about that, how we're going to do that. And then Titania really is the representative for BARK and can talk about what BARK has been doing. And BARK really did they've really stepped up to the plate. They did a study in 2020 that really broke down nationwide what some of the threats are and what some of the concerns are about adolescent use of the internet. And when we talk about preteens, we're talking 8 to 12, and then, of course, teenagers up to the age of 18. So with that, I'm going to let Craig talk a little bit.
Yeah, so thanks, Dave. As Dave said, we're partnered with BARK, and BARK is a smart parental control company out of Atlanta that protects family and kids from, online threats such as online predators, cyberbullying, and other threats that are out there in the internet. In addition, and more importantly, BARK also offers best practices on how to talk to your kids about those threats. So we're offering two options: BARK Jr., which is free for every CSpire wireless customer and prospective customer, and BARK Jr. offers features such as being able to filter which website kids can visit, location check-ins, as well as setting limits from your kids' screen time. And then the other option is BARK Premium. It adds monitoring for text, emails, and 30 of your most popular websites, social media platforms, and it's offered at $10 a month. And like Dave said, we've been looking for a partner for the last several years, and we came across BARK. And BARK has some innovative solutions such as artificial intelligence that helps, to protect more than, over the last 5 years, they protected more than 5.6 million kids from online threats. They've identified 2.1 million bullying situations, helped prevent about 16 credible school shootings. So they have some impressive stats over the last 5 years.
Got it. Yeah. And so this is something, obviously, that parents worry about because you can't just prevent your children. It's not practical, really, and they need it for school and all sorts of other uses as well. But it's like you said, Dave, anytime you have such a powerful tool like this, going all the way back to nuclear fission, right? There's a positive use of that and one that benefits society, and then there's bad folks out there that leverage it for nefarious use. And this is the same thing here, and this is what we're trying to do, so parents worry about this.
Absolutely. And in fact, one of the things that really attracted us to Bark, and Titania can talk more about this, is that they have really focused in on this balancing act because, again, it's really important to embrace the value of the internet and the fact that, this is a digital generation. It's growing up with smartphones. It's growing up with tablets. It's growing up with constant 24/7, 365 connectivity. But there's also the importance of helping these maturing folks to understand how to use the internet and how to identify what the threats are. Titania, maybe you can talk a little bit about that and what Bark has done in that area.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for the opportunity to help protect children across the great state of Mississippi. And as a mom of a 12-year-old, I am living this in real time in addition to being a tech executive. And the time is now. And I'm so thrilled that CSpire has been so innovative and forward-thinking to bring this to everyone, not only the free option, which is groundbreaking, but also the discounted Bark Premium. And so what that looks like, with our kids being on devices for upwards of 8 hours a day between school and then personal devices, they're spending so much time in places that a lot of us have never even been, and you've never even been and spent. For example, Snapchat. How many parents listening right now have actually ever downloaded the app, spent time in it, realized that there's this thing called Snap Maps that can show your child's location in real time down to the detail of their home and what the exterior of their home looks like? A lot of us don't even know that, not to mention the apps that they're hiding, that they're downloading that look like other things. They look like calculators, but they're vault apps. The amount of online predation, mental health issues, sexting. I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer here, but I'm basing this off of real data, over 2.1 billion data points taken from children all across the nation. And that data shows us that this is happening at a very high frequency, and so parents need to take action. And the way they can take action is by using Bark's both free and premium services. Bark will connect to your children's devices, accounts, social media, text message, things like YouTube, etc. And when Bark detects an issue, it will then send you an alert, and it will not only give you the problem, because we already have plenty of those, it will give you best recommended next steps for how to address. How do you talk to your children about these incredibly tough issues? Because our goal is to empower and protect families.
Yeah, and I think the message here, Titania, is that a lot of parents might be a bit in a state of denial, thinking, well, I just don't allow my children to do that. And the other thing that we should point out is they don't have to go looking for this stuff. It finds them.
It finds them. It absolutely finds them. You might not let your child have a smartphone, but he goes to baseball practice. Somebody on his team does, and you better believe they're passing it around. And
even in just innocuous browsing, folks, the bad guys know who to target and how to target them.
Absolutely.
They really do. And honestly, right before this, I did a Facebook Live with a child cybercrimes detective, and I asked him, just how common is it? How prevalent is just online predation? And he said that there are probably 700 cases right now per every one detective in the state of Maine. It is very prevalent. And please do not think, not my kid. It's everyone's child. Every kid makes bad choices, and predators are smart. Yeah,
absolutely. And so this gives parents peace of mind. That's what you're looking for.
Absolutely. In fact, one of the things that our CEO, Humina, talks about all the time is if we really believe in something, if we're really committed, which we are, as part of our name, part of our name is really focused around being customer inspired. We really have to put our money where our mouth is. And so that's one of the primary reasons why we've offered Bark Jr. for free, and why we've offered a 29% discount on the premium product, because we absolutely believe not only in that they work, but the importance of them and the need for them. And that's why we have offered them this way.
Yeah. Before we go here, Dave, tell us real quick why CSpire selected BART as their partner for this technology.
Well, they really are state of the art. They're award winning. They've been in business for 6 years. They understand what the problem is. They have a great product. It's simple and easy and intuitive to use. That's really what's important to us because, again, that's part of what our brand is all about. Technology sometimes is really difficult behind the curtain, but you want to make it simple and easy and intuitive for consumers, and BART does all of that. And as Titania talked about, it's really, they have developed a great relationship working with all these entities that provide support and protection for children.
Sounds like a great partnership. Appreciate you guys bringing that to Mississippi. The CSpire Roundtable has been our guest. We'll be right back with more on the JT Show. Stay with us.